This summary is about the book You Become What You Think by Shubham Kumar Singh. In this book, you will learn about the immense power of your thoughts, the science of neuroplasticity, the difference between the conscious and subconscious mind, the law of attraction, and the deep connection between your mental state and physical health. Now, let's explore these ideas in detail. The story begins with a boy who felt he had lost everything in life. Every day he felt as if he had no purpose left. His grades in school were terrible. Everyone at home was frustrated with him, and even his friends were slowly drifting away. His thinking had become completely negative. He felt stuck, believing that nothing good could ever happen to him. One day, without any specific purpose, he wandered into a nearby library. He didn't even remember what he was looking for. He was just aimlessly roaming between the shelves. Suddenly, his eyes fell upon a man. This man appeared incredibly calm and happy, as if he had no worries in the world. The boy observed him for a while. Then, the man himself approached the boy and spoke, "You look troubled. Is everything okay?" Without thinking, the boy replied, "Yes, it's just that I don't understand anything in my life right now." The man smiled and said, "Your trouble exists only in your thinking. You become what you think." Hearing this felt a bit strange to the boy. "What do you mean?" he asked. The man replied, "Come, let me show you a book. Perhaps you will understand." The man led him to a shelf and picked out a book. The title of the book was You Become What You Think, and the author was Shubham Kumar Singh. He opened the first page and said, "Start from here." It says, "The Power of Thoughts." The boy was a little confused, but he began reading the page carefully. It stated that our thoughts, our ideas, are what shape our reality. Our thinking is the foundation of our experiences and outcomes. If we repeatedly think negatively, then negative things will manifest in our lives. However, if we keep our thoughts positive, life can change. Then the book discussed neuroplasticity. It explained that our brain can constantly change and evolve based on our thoughts and experiences. This scientific concept seemed quite interesting to the boy. He felt that perhaps there was still hope for him. The man spoke again. "You think that nothing good can happen in life because you are constantly thinking negatively. But if you change your thinking, your life will change too. Look, it is not easy, but it is possible." Hesitantly, the boy asked, "But how do I change my thinking?" The man laughed and said, "That is exactly what is written in this book. People who change their thinking can change their lives." He shared some examples from the book where people had brought about massive transformations in their lives simply by shifting their mindset. These things sounded strange to the boy, but somewhere deep down, he felt a spark. He thought, "Can my thinking really change my life?" He told the man, "I want to read this book." The man smiled. "Certainly. But remember, just reading won't do anything. You have to work on both your thinking and your life." The boy nodded and walked away with the book. That night, when he returned home, he read a few more chapters. There were more concepts that he began to understand, such as how small positive thoughts influence our actions and decisions. Every time he felt low, he tried to change his thinking. Within a few days, he sensed that his energy was shifting slightly. He didn't feel as depressed as he used to. Whenever a negative thought arose, he would tell himself, "No, I can do better than this." He started working on his grades. He didn't give up as easily as he used to. He began to understand that if his thinking was clear and positive, anything was possible. However, this journey was still long. The boy had a lot left to learn, and he knew that just reading one book wouldn't change everything overnight. But now his life had direction, and that direction came from that book and the man who showed him the path to changing his mindset in the library. A few weeks passed, and gradual changes began to appear in the boy's life. He was feeling better about himself, as if his life had found a new purpose. The book he found in the library was helping him shift his perspective. However, he still had many questions in his mind, especially regarding his subconscious mind. He couldn't understand how his thinking ran so deep and how he could effectively change it. One day, he went back to the library, perhaps to talk to that man again. The man was sitting there at a table, reading a book. The boy hesitated a bit, then went up to him and said, "I learned a lot from the book you gave me, but I still don't understand some things." The man looked at him with a smile and asked, "What are your questions?" Thinking for a moment, the boy said, "I read about the conscious and subconscious mind in the book, but I didn't quite understand how they both work." Taking a deep breath, the man said, "Okay, let's understand this in a simple way. Your conscious mind is what is working right now. When you are talking, thinking something, or doing a task with focus, your conscious mind is active. However, your subconscious mind is what runs in the background. This is the part that controls your habits, beliefs, and deep-rooted emotions." The boy asked, with a questioning look, "So is the subconscious mind more important?" The man laughed and said, "In a way, yes. A large part of your life is controlled by the subconscious mind. Your habits, like how you wake up in the morning, how you do a task, and even how you think. All of this is part of your subconscious mind. And the biggest thing is that your beliefs, which are formed from childhood or experiences, are also hidden in this subconscious mind." The boy listened carefully, then asked, "But what are these beliefs, and how are they formed?" Explaining further, the man said, "Beliefs are the perceptions formed by your life experiences and the words of the people around you. Suppose in childhood someone told you that you are not worthy of doing a certain task. If you heard that repeatedly and accepted it, it became your belief, and that belief settled into your subconscious mind. Then, whenever you start a new task, your subconscious mind reminds you of that belief, that you are not worthy of this work. Similarly, positive beliefs are also formed." Looking a bit troubled, the boy asked, "So, can I not control my subconscious mind?" Smiling, the man said, "Controlling it is difficult, but not impossible. Your subconscious mind acts like a filter. Whatever new experience or information you take in is filtered through your past experiences and beliefs. If your beliefs are negative, you will see negativity in every situation. But if you can reprogram them, things can change." Confused, the boy said, "But how is this reprogramming done?" The man sat back a little more comfortably and said, "Look, your subconscious mind is very powerful, but accessing and changing it is a bit tricky. There are certain techniques for this, such as affirmations, visualization, and meditation. With the help of these techniques, you can slowly fill your subconscious mind with positive beliefs." He gave the boy another example. Suppose every day you tell your subconscious mind, "I am confident. I am successful." Slowly, your subconscious mind will start accepting this as the truth. These affirmations go into your subconscious mind and become beliefs, and then those beliefs start shaping your reality. The boy was slowly beginning to understand these things. He asked again, "And what other techniques are there?" The man said, "Visualization is a powerful tool. When you connect your thinking with a specific goal and imagine it in your mind, your subconscious mind starts accepting that thing as reality. For example, if you imagine yourself as a successful person every day, how you are working, how people are appreciating you, your subconscious mind will begin to believe it is true, and your actions will start moving in that direction." The boy nodded slowly, as if he understood. He then asked, "So will this solve all my problems?" The man laughed and said, Problems exist in everyone's life, but when you fill your subconscious mind with positive beliefs, your attitude towards problems changes. You no longer fear problems. Instead, you look for ways to solve them. Your belief system helps you focus on solutions. The boy was listening with full attention. He began to feel that perhaps he was heading in the right direction. He asked, "So should I do affirmations and visualization every day?" "Yes," the man said. "Positivity is very essential. If you keep filling your subconscious mind with positive thoughts and beliefs daily, your thinking and actions will slowly start to change. It will seem difficult in the beginning, but gradually you will see the difference. Remember, it is a gradual process, but it works." The boy fell into thought for a moment, then said, "I will try, but what if my thinking still doesn't change?" Taking a deep breath, the man said, "Look, the journey of change is not completed in a day. It is a continuous process. Sometimes you will feel like nothing is happening, but in reality, small changes will be occurring in your subconscious mind. And if you maintain patience and consistency, one day you will see a huge change." The boy now understood that the real work was going on inside him. He had to reprogram his subconscious mind, and for this, he had to work on himself. He thanked the man and walked out of the library. This time, he had more questions in his mind, but also a new confidence that he could bring about change in his life. Over the next few weeks, the boy started working on the techniques of affirmations, visualization, and meditation. He tried to fill his subconscious mind with positive thoughts every day. Slowly, he began to feel subtle changes in his thinking and actions. He now felt more calm and centered in situations. Every time a negative thought came, he tried to reprogram his unwanted mind. Although this journey was not over yet, he had more to learn, and he knew that the man in the library was going to teach him even more. The story did not end here. The boy was about to understand his subconscious mind even more deeply. Months had passed, and changes were clearly visible in the boy's life. Working on techniques like affirmations, visualization, and meditation, he had learned to reprogram his thinking and subconscious mind to a great extent. Now he felt a new energy and self-confidence within himself. But he felt that there was still something remaining, something that would help him completely transform his life. One day, he went to the library again and found the same person sitting at the same table, reading a book. The boy went up to him and said, "What you told me about the subconscious mind has helped me a lot. Now I can understand my thoughts and emotions better, but I still feel there is something else I don't know." Closing the book, the man looked at him and smiled. "You feel correctly. You still have something left to learn." The boy asked eagerly, "What is it?" Sitting comfortably, the man said, "Today I will tell you about the law of attraction." The boy was a bit puzzled. He asked, "Law of attraction? What is that?" Explaining, the man said, "The law of attraction is a universal principle which states that your thoughts and emotions attract the reality of your life. If you hold positive thoughts and emotions, you will receive positive experiences in life. And if you remain stuck in negative thoughts, only negativity will come into your life." The boy listened carefully, then asked with some doubt, "But how? Does thinking really change things?" Nodding his head, the man said, "Look, to understand the law of attraction, you have to know that our thinking and emotions create vibrations. Every thought and feeling has a specific vibration. When your thoughts and feelings align, you send a signal to the universe, and the universe returns experiences to you according to that vibration. We call this vibrational alignment." Taking a deeper interest now, the boy asked, "So does this mean if I want something and think about it, I will get it?" Laughing, the man said, "Absolutely. But just thinking is not enough. You also have to align your emotions and vibrations with that desire." The boy was even more curious now. "But how will I know if my vibration is right or not?" The man said seriously, "For this, you have to understand your emotions. Your feelings are the biggest indicator of your vibration. If you think about a desire and you feel excitement, joy, and positivity, it means your vibrations are aligned with that desire. But if you feel doubt, fear, or negativity, then your vibrations are mismatched with that desire." The boy nodded slowly. "So do I only have to feel positive emotions?" "Yes," the man replied, "but it is not that easy either. Sometimes your subconscious beliefs clash with your desires, and this affects your emotions. That is why emotional awareness is very necessary."
You have to understand how you are feeling and then learn the way to shift your emotions. These things were starting to seem a bit difficult to the boy, but at the same time, he was excited about this new knowledge. He asked again, "So, does the law of attraction mean that whatever I think, I will get?" Looking at him seriously, the man said, "The law of attraction only helps to manifest your desires, but for this, you have to work in the right way. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, all three have to work together. And the most important thing is that you have to keep patience and faith. Sometimes you don't see results quickly, but that doesn't mean the universe isn't working." The boy was quite intrigued now. He asked, "Are there any practical exercises I can do?" Smiling, the man said, "Yes, absolutely. The first thing you can do is gratitude practice. When you are grateful, you automatically raise your vibrations. Every day, morning and night, be thankful for the things you have. This sets your vibrations in a positive direction." The boy listened to this carefully and found it quite interesting. He asked, "What else can I do?" The man said, "Visualization is also a powerful tool, as you already know, but now pay attention to your emotions during visualization as well. When you imagine yourself achieving your goals, pay attention to how you are feeling. If you feel excitement and joy, you are going in the right direction." Nodding, the boy said, "Okay, I understand, but what if I can't always think positively?" Laughing, the man said, "That is completely normal. You cannot stay positive always, and that is absolutely fine. Whenever you feel negative feelings, recognize them, understand why they are coming, and then slowly try to shift your emotions. Meditation can help with this. Through deep breathing and mindfulness techniques, you can learn to control your mind and emotions." The boy was slowly starting to understand all these things. He thought that perhaps this was the missing piece he was looking for. He asked the man one last question. "So, can I change my entire life with the law of attraction?" Smiling, the man said, "Yes, absolutely. But remember, you have to keep your thoughts, emotions, and actions consistent. If you believe and work in the right way, the universe will give you what you want. But the most important thing is faith. You must have faith in this process." The boy thanked the man and walked out of the library. This time, he felt a new clarity and direction. Now he knew that his thoughts and emotions would decide the direction of his life. He just had to align his vibrations in the right direction. For the next few days, the boy included gratitude practice, visualization, and meditation in his daily routine. He started paying attention to his emotions. Whenever he felt negative emotions, he would recognize them and try to shift them gradually. Now, a new sense of control and positivity had come into his life. Although this journey was still not over, the understanding of the law of attraction had given him a new direction, but there were more things in his life that he wanted to understand. In the coming time, he had more to learn, and the man in the library was going to introduce him to even more mysteries. Some weeks had passed. The boy had learned about the law of attraction, and some positive changes in his life were visible. But still, sometimes he felt negativity in his thinking. He couldn't understand why, despite practicing the law of attraction, negative thoughts came to him repeatedly. One day, he reached that library again to meet the man who had started the transformation of his thinking. The boy went and sat near the man and spoke in a slightly sad tone. "What you taught me about the law of attraction helped me a lot, but still, I sometimes get stuck in negative thinking. I don't know how to get out of this." The man looked at him and said, "You are not alone. We all fall prey to negative thoughts at some point or another. But this does not mean that you are failing. Recognizing negative thinking and overcoming it is also a process. And today, I will teach you about this." The boy prepared to listen carefully. He knew he would get to learn something new this time as well. The man said, "First of all, you have to understand that every human's thinking contains some limiting beliefs. These are beliefs that create obstacles in your life. Often these beliefs come from childhood or past experiences. Most of us live with these beliefs without knowing, and they negatively impact our decisions and actions." The boy asked with a bit of confusion, "But how do I identify what my limiting beliefs are?" The man replied, "The best way to identify them is self-reflection and introspection. Whenever you feel stuck in a situation, pay attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking? Are you telling yourself, 'I can't do this,' or 'I am not good enough'? These small sentences reveal your limiting beliefs." The boy nodded. "Yes, I often talk to myself like this, but how can I change these beliefs?" Smiling, the man said, "This process is called cognitive restructuring. Whenever you feel negative thoughts or limiting beliefs inside you, challenge them. For example, if the thought comes to your mind that, 'I can't do this work,' immediately ask yourself, 'Why can't I do it? Do I have any solid evidence to support this belief? Or is it just a misunderstanding of my mind?" The boy fell into thought. He realized that his negative thoughts often came without any real basis. He said to the man, "So I have to examine my negative thoughts every time?" Nodding, the man said, "Absolutely. When you identify negative self-talk, the next step is to reframe it. This means you change your thinking in such a way that it supports your growth. For example, if you feel, 'I can't do this work,' reframe it and say, 'Maybe I can't do this work right now, but I can learn it.'" The boy found this technique quite helpful. He said, "This is like rewriting your thinking." The man supported his statement. "Exactly right. You can take your thinking in the direction you want, but it needs practice. Every time you get stuck in negative thoughts, recognize them, challenge them, and then reframe them. It's a continuous process." The boy asked again, "But negative self-talk happens so often that sometimes it is difficult to identify it. Is there a way for this too?" The man said, "For this, you can practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means observing your thoughts and emotions without judging them. When you are mindful, you catch your negative thoughts immediately and get a chance to reframe them." The boy nodded. "I have heard about mindfulness before, but I never took it seriously. Now I understand how important it is." The man then emphasized another important point. "And there is one more thing you should pay attention to: your emotions. Negative thinking is often linked with negative emotions like fear, doubt, or guilt. When you reframe your thoughts, your emotions will also slowly start to change. And when you start living in positive emotions, optimism and positivity will automatically increase in your life." The boy was now fully engaged. He asked, "So does this mean I have to manage my emotions as well?" The man said, "Absolutely. You cannot ignore your emotions. Whenever you feel negative emotions, instead of suppressing them, accept them. Understand why they are coming, and then consciously try to replace them. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and journaling can be very helpful for this." The boy was slowly understanding that this process was quite deep. He asked again, "But is it possible to get rid of negativity completely?" Laughing, the man said, "No, getting rid of negativity completely is impossible. We are humans, and negative thoughts will come into our minds at some point.
But what is important is how we handle them. When you make a habit of identifying your negativity and challenging it, you reduce its power. And when the power of negativity decreases, positivity automatically starts coming into your life. The boy listened to the man's words carefully. He had understood that stopping negative thinking completely was not possible, but controlling and reframing it was in his hands. So, "What do I have to do?" the boy asked finally. Smiling one last time, the man said, "First of all, you have to identify your limiting beliefs. Then, every time you feel negative thoughts, challenge and reframe them. Pay attention to your emotions and practice mindfulness. This is all a process, and as you practice it, you will be able to take your thinking in a positive and empowering direction." The boy thanked the man and walked out of the library. This time, he had a new tool, the tool to identify, challenge, and reframe negative thinking. He decided that from now on, he would not only try to identify every negative thought, but also try to change it into a positive and constructive thought. For the next few days, the boy practiced identifying his limiting beliefs and the technique of cognitive restructuring. Every time he felt doubt or fear about something, he would ask himself, "Is this really true? Or is this just a misunderstanding of my mind?" Gradually, a change started coming into his thinking. Negative self-talk was replaced by positive and empowering thoughts. This was another big change in the boy's life, but the journey still remained. Months had passed. Many changes had come into the boy's life. He had learned the art of identifying and reframing negative thinking. Now his thinking had become positive to a great extent, but he still felt that there was something missing in his life. He often felt tired. His energy would deplete quickly, and sometimes minor illnesses would surround him. One day he reached the library again to meet the same man who had given a new direction to his life so far. The boy was a bit worried and asked a direct question. "I have benefited a lot from what you have taught so far, but my physical health is not right. I get tired quickly and don't always feel energetic. Is there a solution for this too?" The man listened to him carefully and then said in a calm voice, "Absolutely, there is a solution for this too. Our physical health has a direct connection with our mental health. This is called the mind-body connection, and today I will teach you about this." The boy became curious. He had never heard of this mind-body connection before. The man started explaining, "There is a deep relationship between our mind and body. As you think, so your body responds. If your thinking is positive, your body also feels the effect of that positivity. And if you think negatively, that also affects your body. This has been proven scientifically as well." The boy was a bit shocked. "So does that mean the cause of my illnesses could be my thinking too?" The man nodded. "Not just your thinking, but yes, your thoughts play a big part. When you remain immersed in negative thoughts constantly, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline in excess. These hormones are helpful in the short term, but if they continue for a long time, they can have a bad effect on your body. Similarly, positive thinking reduces stress hormones and relaxes the body." The boy fell into thought. "So, does this mean I have to think positively to improve my physical health as well?" Supporting his point, the man said, "Absolutely. Positive thinking has a deep impact not only on your mental health, but also on your physical health. Many research studies have proven that people who are optimistic have a stronger immune system and do not fall ill quickly. Their chances of recovery are also higher." The boy asked, "So what should I do so that my physical health also improves?" Smiling, the man said, "First of all, deepen the habit of positive thinking even more. Along with this, work on stress management. Stress is the biggest enemy of our body. When you are stressed, both your body and mind become weak." "But how do I do stress management?" the boy asked with a bit of confusion. The man explained in detail, "There are many ways to manage stress. First of all, identify your stress triggers. What are the things that give you stress? then find ways to manage those situations. Deep breathing and meditation are excellent ways to reduce stress immediately. Whenever you feel stress, just focus on your breath for a few minutes and take deep breaths slowly. This calms your nervous system and reduces the level of stress hormones. The boy thought, "So I should focus on meditation and breathing exercises." The man nodded in agreement. Absolutely. Meditation and breathing exercises calm both your body and mind.
Apart from this, gratitude is also very important for your overall well-being. When you feel gratitude, your mind naturally shifts towards positive thoughts, and positivity has a direct effect on your body. The boy asked again, "How should I practice gratitude?" The man explained, "Every day, morning or night, take out a few minutes and think about the things for which you are grateful. Small things like good food, friends, family, or whatever things are positive in your life. When you practice gratitude regularly, your mind naturally starts becoming optimistic, and this affects your physical health as well." The boy understood this technique and thought he would make it a part of his daily routine. The man then emphasized another important point. "And one more thing that is very necessary for your well-being is optimism. When you remain optimistic about the future, your body feels that optimism. Stress decreases, and your immune system also becomes stronger. Research has seen that people who are optimistic have better heart health, and their life expectancy is also higher." The boy listened carefully, and now he was understanding how deeply his mental and physical health were connected. "So this means I have to manage my thinking and emotions completely so that my physical health can also become better?" the boy asked. Laughing, the man said, "Absolutely. A large part of your physical health depends on your mental state. If you think positively and optimistically, your body will also feel that positivity. Along with this, good nutrition, regular exercise, and proper sleep also contribute to your physical well-being. But if your thinking remains negative, all these efforts will have less effect." The boy asked again, "So I have to create a balance of all these things?" Nodding in agreement, the man said, "Exactly right. The mind-body connection means that you take care of your thinking, emotions, and physical actions. When these three align, then true well-being comes into your life." In the end, the man said, "Remember, positivity and gratitude are like medicine, not just for your mental health, but for your body as well. Whenever you feel that you are physically weak or tired, pay attention to your thinking. Positive thinking can increase your physical strength too." The boy thanked the man and walked out of the library. This time he had understood that his entire life was based on the deep link between his thinking and his body. He had decided that from now on, he would not only work on his mental state, but also pay attention to his physical health. Understanding the mind-body connection, he was now ready to completely transform his life. The final lesson of this journey was that true well-being and success are not just in improving oneself, but in helping others. And now the boy had fully adopted this lesson in his life. In this book, we learned that our thoughts are the architects of our reality, capable of reshaping our brain through neuroplasticity and influencing our physical health through the mind-body connection. We explored how to reprogram the subconscious mind using affirmations and visualization, and how to align our emotions with the law of attraction. If you apply even one of these lessons, like cognitive restructuring or gratitude practice in your daily life, you will start noticing a real and powerful change.